We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next 30 minutes. National Investigation Agency intensifies search for evidence in dastardly terror attack in Pahalgam. India's External Affairs Minister Jaishankar appreciates global support, speaks to UN Chief and other non-member nations of UNSC. US President Trump marks 100 days in office with Michigan visit, hails achievements and vows to make America great again. Trump's 100 days gift to US car makers, eases auto tariffs on foreign parts imports, also says tariff talks with India doing great, expects a trade deal soon. Tension further escalates in South China Sea. China conducts naval patrolling, accuses Philippines of creating disturbances. And on to the details now. India has intensified probes in Pahalgam terror attack in which 26 people, mainly tourists, were killed on April 22nd. The National Investigation Agency team has recreated the crime scene and is meticulously gathering evidence from every corner. They are also examining the past contacts of mule operators to determine any involvement in previous criminal activities. Early on Tuesday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a crucial security meeting joined by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. CDS Anil Chauhan and the chiefs of the three services also attended the meeting. The high-level meeting was held in the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack. And India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar received calls from world leaders, including the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres and his counterparts from 7 non-permanent member nations of the UN Security Council, condemning the April 22nd Pahalgam attack in Jammu and Kashmir. In a post on social media platform X, Dr. Jaishankar said, and I quote, received a call from UNSD Antonio Guterres, appreciate his unequivocal condemnation of the terrorist attack in Pahalgam, agreed on the importance of accountability. India has resolved that the perpetrators, planners and backers of this attack are brought to justice. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of UAE, Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, also called Dr. Jaishankar and discussed the need to counter terrorism in all forms. Dr. Jaishankar thanked his Sierra Leone counterpart for their strong condemnation of the Pahalgam terror attack. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar also thanked Algerian Foreign Minister Ahmed Attaf for the solidarity and support on the Pahalgam terror attack. Thanking Guyana Foreign Minister, Dr. Jaishankar stated on social media that they discussed the Pahalgam terrorist attack and the need to combat terrorism in all forms and manifestations. EM Jaishankar also thanked Slovenia FM for his condemnation of the dastardly attack. Dr. Jaishankar also spoke to Panama's Foreign Minister Javier Martinez Acha Vasquez regarding the Pahalgam attack. He further received a call from Cyprus Konstantinos Kombos for his support. And another incident of ceasefire violation was reported across the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. On the intervening night of 29th to 30th of April, Pakistan Army post initiated unprovoked small arms fire across the line of control opposite the Naushera, Sundarbani and Akhnur sectors in the Union Territory of J&K. Well, in response to these provocations, the Indian Army acted with restraint and effectiveness, ensuring the safety and security of its position along the line of control. And in Jammu and Kashmir, all security arrangements have been put in place to ensure the safety, security and comfort of all visiting tourists to the Kashmir region following Pahalgam terror attack. Meanwhile, tourist activity remains unaffected at key locations. Tourists are being warmly welcomed and the local communities, along with administration and tourism stakeholders, are fully facilitating their stay. And in a land where faith echoes through the mountains, the spiritual journey of the Chardham Yatra has begun once again. Revered as one of the most sacred pilgrimages in India, the Chardham, comprising Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath, welcomes devotees from across the world to its divine heights. Here's a detailed look at this soul-stirring journey.
Nestled high in the Garhwal Himalayas of Uttarakhand, the Chardham shrines hold immense significance in Hinduism. The Chardham Yatra is not just a journey of physical endurance, but a spiritual cleansing, believed to grant liberation from the cycle of life and death. The sacred journey traditionally begins on the day of Akshaya Tritiya every year. The first dham in this Chardham Yatra is considered to be Yamunotri, the source of the Yamuna river. The next stop is Gangotri, where the holy Ganga is believed to have descended from heaven onto earth. The third dham, Kedarnath, dedicated to Lord Shiva, stands resilient against the backdrop of snowy peaks. Accessible by a strenuous track or helicopter, Kedarnath holds the promise of immense spiritual merit for those who reach its doors. The pilgrimage concludes at Badrinath, the abode of Lord Vishnu. Adorned with vibrant flags and chants, Badrinath is a symbol of devotion, resilience and divine grace. Pilgrims must register before undertaking the journey. Online registration can be done through the official Uttarakhand tourism portal or the Tourist Care Uttarakhand app. A valid ID, a passport-size photograph and travel dates are required to generate the essential e-pass. The Chardham Yatra, though demanding, offers a rare chance to reconnect with nature, devotion and oneself. For countless believers, this journey is not just a travel, it is transcendence. Kriti Vadhera's report for DD India.
And India will be holding for the first time an exposition of the sacred Buddha relic of Sarnath at Vietnam during the gala celebrations of the United Nations Day of Vesak 2025. India's Ministry of Culture, in collaboration with the International Buddhist Confederation, will bring the holy relic to Delhi today amidst prayers from monastery in Sarnath to the Varanasi airport. Upon reaching Delhi, the holy relic will be placed in a special protected enclosure at the National Museum for prayers, chanting and meditation by the followers of Dhamma, including eminent members of the community and the diplomatic representatives from the Buddhist countries. Well, the following day, that is on May 1st, the holy relic of the Buddha will be transported with great reverence, escorted by senior monks with full religious sanctity and protocol to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam by a special Indian Air Force aircraft. The exposition coincides with the United Nations Day of Vesak 2025 as it is being celebrated in Vietnam, an opportunity for not only the citizens of Vietnam to seek blessings of the holy relic, but also the international delegates from over 100 countries and regions who would be participating in the Vesak Day celebrations. And at least 14 people were killed and several others suffered burn injury after a massive fire gripped a hotel in East India's Kolkata on Tuesday night. The fire broke out around 8:30 p.m. at a hotel located in Bura Bazar area. One hotel staff member died after jumping from the roof in an attempt to escape the blaze. After the fire was brought under control, firefighters and members of the disaster response team entered the building to search. During this operation, 13 more charred bodies were recovered from different rooms of the hotel. A special team has been formed to look into the incident and further investigation is underway. And another fire incident was reported in northwest Indian city of Ajmir on Tuesday night. The incident happened on Tuesday night when a massive fire broke out at a paper factory. Over 15 fire tenders were deployed at the spot and efforts are on to douse the blaze. No casualties have been reported in the incident. And in a rare and heartening development, the endangered red-crowned roofed turtle has returned to the Ganga River after more than 3 decades, marking a major milestone in India's biodiversity conservation efforts under the Namami Gange mission. Once considered nearly extinct in the region, the turtle species had not been spotted in the Ganga for 30 years. The turtles were released with sonic tracking devices to monitor their movement and survival. This important initiative will not only conserve turtle species, but will also inspire the movement of the ecosystem in Uttar Pradesh. And India's first ever Waves Summit is all set to open in Mumbai on the 1st of May. The event will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Deepika sends us this report from Mumbai, showing us the glimpses of how Mumbai is gearing up to host this mega event. Take a look.
India is all set to host its first ever World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit 2025 in Mumbai, which will bring together the world's leading media, entertainment and technology innovators at the Geo Convention Centre. The city of Mumbai is gearing up to make this mega event a grand success at global level. From Waves brandings on buses and bus stops to subways and areas spanning an extraordinary 15,000 square kilometers, Waves 2025 is all set to generate waves in the ocean of entertainment and creativity. The platform will cater to industry giants, creators, investors, and cutting edge technology pioneers to converge, collaborate, and explore the future of global entertainment. Not only this, the summit will also host the Bharat Pavilion along with other state stalls, which will showcase their prowess in the world of entertainment and technology. With an aim to strengthen India's creative strength and amplify its position as a hub for content creation, intellectual property, and technological innovation, Waves will be one-stop destination for all industry stakeholders.
The stage is all set for the first ever audio, visual and entertainment summit, which is Wave 2025, which is already creating ripples all across the globe, because this is not only connecting business to business opportunities across the country, but going global with its across the world approach. And not only this, the event is all set to be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself, and already so many creators, so many curators, so many business associates are present in Mumbai to make this event a great success. This is Deepika reporting for DD India from Mumbai.
And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. 3 killed in Uppsala shooting as gang violence escalates in Sweden. Auspicious day for gold purchases today. Gold glitters on Akhatria as prices hit 1 lakh rupees. Dembele fires PSG past Arsenal in semi-final first leg. French side takes edge in Champions League clash. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Nipakshi Kuran. And moving on, US President Donald Trump held a rally in Michigan on Tuesday to mark the first 100 days of his second term, staging his largest political event since returning to the White House. Speaking at the rally in Macomb County, Trump hailed what he called the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country. He also promised to bring back jobs to the United States and said his administration was ending illegal immigration, taking back our jobs and restoring the rule of law. The rally in the politically competitive state, the hub of the U.S. auto industry, was the largest event hosted by the Republicans since his January 20th inauguration.
And we're here tonight in the heartland of our nation to celebrate the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country, and that's according to many, many people. This is the best, they say, 100-day start of any president in history, and everyone is saying it. And week by week, we're ending illegal immigration. We're taking back our jobs and protecting our great American auto workers and all of our workers, frankly. We're protecting all of our workers. We're restoring the rule of law, which was sort of out the window with this crazy guy we had.
Well, it's been 100 days since President Donald Trump began his second term in office, and it's been nothing short of eventful. At 78 years old, President Trump has wasted no time pushing forward a sweeping and often controversial agenda, impacting everything from the economy to immigration and international trade. Well, since taking office, President Trump has signed 142 executive orders, including 37 in his first week. He rescinded 78 of former President Biden's executive actions and has since revoked more than 100 orders overall. On the legislative front, Trump's approach has been lean. Only 5 bills have been signed into law. Trump administration is facing significant judicial scrutiny as over 200 legal challenges have been launched against various policies. Also, Trump has issued pardons for 39 individuals and entities. Among these moves was an unprecedented broad pardon intended for anyone convicted in connection with the January 6th U.S. Capitol riot. Also, under the newly established Department of Government Efficiency, tens of thousands of federal employees have been affected. On the immigration front, U.S. Customs and Border Protection reported a record low of 7,180 southwest border crossings in March. In trade, Trump's tariffs have raised concerns internationally, with a baseline 10% tariff on imports and high rates up to 25% on certain goods. The average effective tariff now stands at 28%, the highest since 1901. And the annual inflation rate as of March has only moderated to a 6-month low at 2.4%. Well, earlier, U.S. President Trump also announced new fighter jets for Selfridge Air National Guard base. He said that very soon they will replace the retiring A-10 Warthogs with 21 brand new F-15EX Eagle II fighter jets. The next generation air dominance program will replace Lockheed Martin's F-22 Raptor with a crewed aircraft built to enter combat alongside drones, he added.
As Commander-in-Chief, I'm proud to announce that very soon we will replace the retiring A-10 Warthogs with 21 brand new F-15EX Eagle II fighter jets, the best in the world, fresh off the line. This will keep Selfridge at the cutting edge of Northern American air power. My administration will also continue with plans to replace the outgoing KC-135s and KC-46 Pegasus aircraft to continue that important refueling mission, and they'll be restocked with brand new top-of-the-line refuelers. For generations, the men and women of Selfridge have always been here, and They've always been for us, whether you're Republican or you're Democrat. They've always been for us. They've been for America. And under the Trump administration, we're going to be there for you.
While U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order intended to reduce the economic hit from multiple overlapping tariffs on automakers. The move means that an automaker would not face both a 25% levy for an imported vehicle and 25% on steel or aluminium, easing the impact of his tariffs on the automotive industry, yielding to weeks of intense lobbying from automakers, parts suppliers and dealers who warned excessive levies could push up car prices, triggering plant shutdowns and job losses. In his latest partial reversal of tariff policies, Trump agreed to give car makers 2 years to boost the percentage of domestic components and vehicles assembled domestically. It will also allow them to offset tariffs for imported auto parts used in U.S. assembled vehicles equal to 3.75% of the total value of the manufacturer's suggested retail price of vehicles they built in the U.S. through April 2026 and 2.5% of U.S. production through April 30th, 2027. Well, U.S. President Donald Trump hinting a trade deal with India soon. Talking to reporters, Trump said that the talks with India on tariffs were coming along great, and he thinks the two countries will reach a deal.
India is coming along great. I think we'll have a deal with India. The Prime Minister, as you know, was here 3 weeks ago, and they want to make a deal. We'll see what happens.
Well, Donald Trump had levied a 26% reciprocal tariff on India and had later announced a 90-day pause on the duties to discuss trade agreements with several countries. And the U.S. Department of Justice has launched its first prosecutions of migrants for entering a newly declared military zone along the U.S.-Mexico border. Well, 28 individuals now face federal charges after crossing into a 170-mile buffer zone in New Mexico. Land recently transferred to the Army and declared a restricted national defense area. Though U.S. troops have yet to make arrests, they are authorized to detain trespassers and hand them to Border Patrol. The move, part of President Trump's immigration crackdown, circumvents the Insurrection Act while drawing sharp criticism from civil liberties group. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth calls it the beginning of a broader campaign to use military power in border enforcement. And tensions in the South China Sea surged as China's Navy conducted a patrol in the South China Sea on Tuesday, accusing that the Philippines has been creating disturbances and carrying out its own patrols with other countries. The standoff intensifies as both nations assert overlapping sovereignty claims in the contested waters. Over 14,000 U.S. and Filipino troops are engaged in large-scale military drills from April 21st to May 9th, drawing sharp criticism from Beijing, which labeled the exercises provocative. Well, the Southern Theatre Command declared its forces are fully prepared to defend national sovereignty and regional peace. Well, 3 people were shot dead in the Swedish city of Uppsala on Tuesday as the latest shooting to rock the Nordic nation. Police confirmed that 3 individuals have died as a result of the shooting and announced that a murder investigation has been launched. Earlier, police reported receiving calls about gunfire in central Uppsala and stated that several individuals were found with injuries possibly caused by the shooting. The largest television broadcaster in Sweden, SVT, reported that witnesses said a suspect had fled on a scooter. Sweden has faced increasing violence in recent years, with shootings and bombings tied to gang rivalries, often carried out by teens under 15 who are below the age of criminal responsibility. And now to some business news. Akhatria celebrated today marks one of the most auspicious occasions in the Hindu calendar. Traditionally associated with wealth and prosperity, the day is believed to bring good fortune, especially through the purchases of gold and other precious items. Jewelry stores across the country witnesses a spike in footfall on this specific day as buyers rushed to make symbolic purchases, believing that investments made on Akhatria multiply over time. This year, experts predict the domestic jewelry market is likely to witness a mixed trend in gold and silver buying amid a sharp rise in prices of precious metal, as gold prices have touched an all-time high of 1 lakh rupees per 10 grams. And Meta Platforms on Tuesday launched the Llama API, unveiled at its first AI developer conference. The tool gives businesses streamlined access to Meta's Llama model, aiming to rival APIs from OpenAI, Google, and emerging players like China's DeepSeek. While pricing remains undisclosed, Meta is offering limited preview access with wider rollout expected soon. This comes alongside the release of a standalone AI assistant app and plans for a paid chatbot subscription. By offering its models largely for free, Meta bets on widespread adoption and innovation. Developers highlighted major efficiency gains in the latest Llama iteration, and CEO Mark Zuckerberg embraced a more open, competitive AI future where developers mix the best from all models.
If another model like a DeepSeek is better, or if a Quen is better at something, then now as developers, you have the ability to take kind of the best parts of the intelligence from the different models and produce exactly what you need, which I think is going to be very powerful.
And on to some sports news. Paris Saint-Germain seized the advantage in its Champions League semi-final against Arsenal as Ousmane Dembélé sealed a 1-0 win in the first leg on Tuesday night. Dembélé struck in the opening minutes at the Emirates Stadium, and Luis Enrique's side held onto the lead with a composed display that kept Arsenal at bay. PSG will head into the second leg of the semi-final next week as the favourite to reach the final against Barcelona or Inter Milan, as it looks to win the tournament for the first time. Meanwhile, Arsenal's first defeat in 18 home European matches was a painful blow to its own bid to win a first Champions League crown. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available in both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. Well, we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.